Hi, my name is Elizabeth.
And my name is Emily.
So what are we reviewing today?
Well, let's check our letters to Santa box. It looks like we're reviewing Frozen 2.
Good thing we watched it. So Frozen 2 takes place a little while after Frozen 1, and we just see the journey of Elsa becoming stronger and becoming the queen that she is, and just learning to love her powers.
So I was gonna go watch Frozen 2 no matter what. I went to see Frozen 1 in theaters with my boyfriend. It was my very first date. I also have a little sister and she was a toddler when Frozen 1 came out. So I heard Let It Go like every minute of every day for the longest time. And I went to go see Frozen 2 in theaters again with both of them, and it was really nice after all of these years. Like, it was just really significant to me. So this one was also significant to me. But I was a little bit worried because, you know.
Yes, so like in the first movie, Olaf was like the funny guy, and sometimes when they make a second movie, they want that to be like the focal point. Like, it worked the first time, so let's keep doing it more and more and more.
Yeah.
And it could have ended up like,
especially in like kids movies, they're like, let's capitalize and let's make the most money we can off the funniest guy on the screen. Yeah.
So music.
Oh my gosh, I was listening to the soundtrack on my way, like on my commute this morning here. I love it.
It was so amazing, and I liked how the music went along with what was going on in the scene. Even though like certain songs I was like, doesn't make sense, it foreshadowed what was about to happen in the next scene.
I listened to the soundtrack before going to see the movie, and I was like, oh, it's not as fun as Frozen 1. Like, it's a little bit more, you know, slow and serious, and I wasn't, you know, looking forward to it. But after watching the movie, I was like, no, I take it back. It really, like, I appreciate it a lot more, and it's so meaningful to me now. So I really like it.
So my favorite song was Into the Unknown. It built really well, and Elsa's like range on that song, like A1, I love it.
I mean, I really love Show Yourself, but Into the Unknown is like, ugh, it's really good. It's great.
So the character, the plot, everything really was developed and really together, and I really liked that. I also liked how it wasn't such a funny movie, but it still had comedic relief, and it wasn't overbearing, and it wasn't just coming from Olaf.
Yeah, it was super balanced, and I would say all the things that we were worried about them overdoing it and making it, you know, everything came together well. This movie was way more purposeful than the first movie, I think. I think everything in the storyline answered a lot of questions, some questions that I didn't even know I had. I just think that the plot and the characters and everything that you mentioned, it was just developed even more than the first movie, and it was super deep.
In Frozen 1, we had plot twists and turns, and this movie as well, and I think this one was more shocking than anyone would expect. So one thing that I didn't like is that Elsa didn't find a man's. Like, she ain't got nobody.
She doesn't need to find a man's.
I mean, the Elsa line is gonna end.
That's it? That's what you didn't like about it? No.
I didn't feel like it was complete. I felt like I still had questions. Like, what happened to her parents? I understand, like, the boat went over and all that stuff, but like, what happened?
I disagree completely. I felt so fulfilled after watching the movie. I thought it was like totally complete. It was almost like liberating. I thought that for me, oh my God.
My pom-pom don't even agree with you, seriously.
For me, I think that at the end, like, everyone got what they needed, and it was just like, I was happy. Like, I was content with what happened. Even if it wasn't what I expected or what I thought or wanted was gonna happen, I feel like it's what needed to happen. So, was Frozen 2 necessary, and did Frozen even need a sequel?
Honestly, if Elsa wasn't following voices from the Enchanted Forest, rule number 1, don't follow voices from the unknown. Like, I mean, for movie purposes, I guess, ma'am, for movie purposes, I guess it was good, but honestly, Homegirl was following voices. She didn't even know who it belonged to. That could have been tragic.
No, you need to stop. Listen. Frozen 2 was absolutely necessary. I think I was worried about it, but after watching it, like, it made Frozen 1 even worth it. Like, at this point, Frozen 2, like, far surpassed my expectations, and I feel like it was way better than Frozen 1, way more meaningful, way more necessary. I think I was pleasantly surprised after watching Frozen 2. It was needed, and it was a really good sequel for Frozen 1. It completed, for me, like, the franchise really, really well. If it is the last one, which I hope it is, because it was really good.
I don't think it was like complete for me. I think it's more to the story. Like, even though they showed like the parents' boat like went over or whatever, what was the purpose? Like, what did they find? Did they find anything else? Like, what happened with Homegirl's life? Like, I feel like Elsa is just there now.
I think it was necessary for Elsa to follow the voices because it created like the freedom that she ended up having. I think that's what the purpose of the movie was, for everyone to like really get what they needed, and I think following the voices was just part of that journey.
I do not agree because following voices, period, is a no-no. Period, no voices following. It wasn't necessarily necessary for the movie to by itself to be complete. I think Frozen 1 would have completed it all on its own. But, I mean, it was a good movie. I loved it.
Well, thank you for watching Coog Cinema Review.
I'm Elisabeth.
I'm Emily. And go watch Frozen 2.